Hello everyone and welcome to episode 8 of the Xbox Community Cast. If you haven't been a part of the discussion before, each week we come together to discuss the latest news and popular topics with you, the community. Joining me as always are Waterloo.
Hey.
And Shopa.
Hey guys.
Usually at the end of your intro you say, "What's up?" And then I can say, "Not much, Shopa, what's up with you?"
Oh, I missed the transition. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. How's your week been? What have you been up to?
Wasn't too bad. Pretty busy. Working as usual. Volleyball's getting, right into the swing of things. So, played 2 games last week. We still haven't dropped a single game this summer. So, having fun with that. Got to play a lot of Xbox too. Was able to move my Xbox out to my living room. And I definitely like to play a lot more just lounging on my couch. Nice big 55-inch 4K TV. So, play a little bit of that. Man, I play a lot of computer games too, because it's me.
And Waterloo, how's your week?
My week was alright. I was pretty sick during most of it. Still kind of sick right now, so if I cough...
I'm going to try my best to mute him if he looks like he's going to cough, but I might not catch it, and you'll probably still hear it over Shopa's mic either way. But
so that's been less than fun.
He's been on his deathbed, and I've just had to listen to it.
I literally think I slept in the last 2 days. I probably slept like 38 hours of those 2 days.
Yeah.
But other than that, been playing a little bit of Xbox. Been playing Prey and For Honor. Keep cracking those skulls. Getting ready to face those new opponents that they're going to be putting in the game, which actually they did on Tuesday, which is today.
Tuesday is today. Today is Tuesday.
Okay.
Barely anymore, but...
Yeah. So they did release the new Season 2. So it's going to be pretty fun to see what it brings and how these new characters are going to affect the meta and everything. But that and the job's going pretty good, and my sock game is on point at the job, so that's awesome.
What socks you wearing right now?
Well, right now I got my sweet billiard pool ball socks on right now. So they got all the balls from 1 to 15. So how that goes. All right, and what about you there, Risky? What have you been up to this week?
I've been in good health. So that's a start, I guess. We finally got some sunshine today, but that was about it. It's been raining.
I think we got sunshine yesterday.
Well, yeah. Okay, so the majority of the week we just had rain, which is good for the seed I planted in the backyard. Kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, if only you could watch Waterloo struggle trying to keep his coughs in.
It sneezes and
all his noises.
It was also Mother's Day this past weekend, so I know we all got to spend some good time with mothers and family members all together. So.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, you didn't see your mom, Lou?
I didn't. I heard her gorgeous voice over the phone, though.
Oh,
That's,
boy.
Hey, you gotta take a win where you can get it, so.
I went down 81 South to see my mom this oh man, this is gonna be a tough one.
That's what she said.
Yeah. My mom had to work till 6, so I didn't get to see her till dinner time, but I think 3 hours is like the perfect amount of Mother's Day time.
Oh, you got 3 hours?
Yeah.
I spent like 7 hours in Cortland with Jess's mom. That was fine though. It was a pretty relaxing day. They went out hiking. I just got to relax on the couch. I got fed a bunch of food. It's pretty nice. But
I like food and the couch, so sounds all right.
It was great.
All right, well,
I concur with that.
All right, good. So good Mother's Day, good week. Great. So let's just get right into the news. All right, Waterloo, you got any good news stories?
I got some cool news stories. I'm assuming I'm probably going to steal one of these for you.
You
guys.
can take all the news you want.
But this 18th, they're going to have the new the Destiny info coming out.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up in 2 days.
18th.
So we'll get to talk about that next week.
Yeah.
That's good.
But that's going to be awesome. So make sure you tune in to watch that. Not with us. I wish with us, but, just tune in general. So watch it so you know what we're talking about next week.
And then come back next week and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So that's coming up this week. Shopa, anything else going on?
They came out with the cover of Madden 18, which had the GOAT Tom Brady on it. Well, I mean, the GOAT for most people. I hate Tom Brady because I'm a Giants fan. I think he's a Tom baby. But so it's funny because if the Madden curse is real, then
That'd be good for all of us.
Tom Brady's gonna get hurt, and that'd be great. But we'll get proven. Also, they will have the Journey mode come back.
Not come back. It'll be coming back as a mode in an EA Sports game, I guess. Yeah, it was the most recent one it was in was FIFA 17.
Okay.
It had a Journey mode, so you actually followed the life of a guy making his way up into the Champions League or
Champions
the
League.
big leagues.
The Champions League.
Yeah,
because it was out in Europe. But so that's pretty cool. I haven't played a sports game in a pretty long time, so maybe get back into Madden. I know
I'm horrible at Madden, so I will never play Madden except for unless there's this Journey mode that could actually make this appealing to me, I guess.
I think like for 2 hours after the last podcast, I watched you play the Journey mode in FIFA.
Yeah, I'll talk about that later, but yeah, that was fun.
So
and it's funny that you call them the GOAT, so the greatest of all time. Greatest of all time, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The special edition of the game is actually the GOAT edition. Go figure.
Right? There's actually I've seen a couple of tweets out that they're saying, is he surpassing Michael Jordan as the all-time GOAT?
Oh.
Because typically you're talking about Tom Brady as being the GOAT of football, of the NFL, whereas Michael Jordan is the GOAT of basketball or the NFL.
But what about LeBron?
Don't think he's passed him yet.
All right.
But we won't get into that because that's a kind of fiery topic.
Not for me. Or Waterloo, I'm sure.
Yeah, the GOAT sounds pretty bad.
So if you do end up getting the GOAT edition, you get the game 3 days early. The release date for everybody else, though, is August 25th. So it's a ways away, but it is announced. It's announced who's on the cover. This is the first time ever that the same team has had back-to-back athletes on the front. So Gronk was last year, and he got hurt.
He was out
the Madden curse
all year, right, with back stuff. So
yeah. So yeah, back-to-back Patriots after the Super Bowl win against the Falcons last year. I guess nobody really deserves it more than Brady, no matter how much we
hate him,
tend to dislike him. Next up, BioWare shelving the Mass Effect series for now.
I think that could be a good thing after all the
probably need some time off
and everything they got from the last.
So BioWare Montreal, who created the game, they're just going to be working on patches for it going forward. So the live stuff that needs to happen. The rest of the team is going to be working on Battlefront 2. So they're just kind of shifting the studio around. And hopefully they don't. It sucks that they came out and they really tried to do this right, I guess, but it wasn't the same team that made 1 through 3, and it hit for some people, missed for others. Being a huge fan of the first 3, it was kind of rough. It was not rough, but it was weird not beating this game after being so hyped about it. Like, I was pumped for this game. Although that happens a lot to me, though. I've got gamer ADD, and I can't seem to get through.
Yeah.
Like No Man, No Sky. That game was so hyped up.
Oh, No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
No Man, No Sky. I had no idea what you're talking about. That's another game that was super hyped. But
yeah. I guess they're trying to patch it up, though. Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't. I haven't really kept up with it. I know Waterloo bought it for the PlayStation when it first came out.
Yeah.
And I played a little bit of it, but I don't know. There wasn't enough to do. So maybe now there's a lot more. I'm not sure, though. I haven't kept up with it.
They did say they patched a lot, and they fixed what they said. They made it more like what they said that was going to be.
Like with actual things to do once you got on planets, that kind of stuff.
Instead of just like the same old generic, oh, look at this creature. Look at this creature. Let's mine here. Let's fix our ship. Let's fly to the next place. Let's do the same thing over and over
Which
again.
essentially, was just, it was a loop. And, like, none of the planets were really, like, they weren't different enough. Like, you could tell they were using assets from different worlds and just putting them on each planet. So it might be like a different color or something, but the planets didn't differ that much, really.
No, not enough.
And the last thing, Mass Effect Andromeda got a patch. If you look at Sarah Ryder now, the default character that you could choose, if you look at her now and you look at her when the game first came out, she almost looks completely different now. Like, she used to look like a robot with like skin pasted onto her. Now she actually looks like a human. She's got some nice lipstick and her eyes look human and not like deep holes. Just it's horrible monster. Also, with the patch, when you were talking to someone in the game, you could click a dialogue option. You'd have your conversation. But if you click the same option again, sometimes they would spit back like extra dialogue at you. But it would be grayed out. Like, you couldn't, like there wasn't more for the character to say. But now it's actually lit up still. Like, if you can click it again and get more dialogue from that same option, that's actually lit up now. So people aren't missing out on dialogue. I think those are the big things from the patch for it. But so yeah, Mass Effect tabled for now. The BioWare Montreal studio has been shuffled for Battlefront 2.
I bet you they can use it. I heard that also got kind of pushed back a little bit. So
yeah, I'd heard that as well. I don't know how far it actually got pushed back.
Hopefully not too far.
What isn't getting pushed back nowadays?
That's true.
I mean, supposedly the Scorpio's ahead of schedule.
Shh, don't jinx it.
I'm not jinxing.
You're gonna jinx our Scorpio, and we're all gonna be really sad.
Oh, except for my wallet. That's gonna be really happy. It's gonna
I
be
guess that's
expensive
true.
Q4.
What else? Who wants the next one? Anyone?
I'll take the next one.
Go for it. What do you got?
So, one of the cool things that I was actually wondering about when they were talking about Scorpio is how they're going to incorporate headsets. I know even with like my Bluetooth headset at home, when I had it set up, you still have to plug a cord from the headset to like your controller to make it work. And Microsoft now released their first official headset, revealed kinda.
It's the first. It's made by Lucid Sound, so it's not Microsoft making it, but it's the first. It's the first one that's branded officially for Scorpio.
And so this headset is going to connect exactly like your controller. You're not going to have cords. You're not going to have a Bluetooth anything. A receiver. It's going to connect just like your controllers connect right to the Xbox. So I think that's going to be really cool, especially if they can take the cords out for chat and everything. So this should be really, really cool. And I hope people like Turtle Beach and SteelSeries, Triton,
Astro,
all this stuff take advantage of that and use this as well.
Well, I did have the cordless Turtle Beaches, and I don't think they work that well.
To be frank, I don't like wireless headsets.
So
I've tried them and they don't work for me. It's connection issues, it's batteries for charging and stuff. It's the headset I have now. You just plug it into your controller, and my controller usually doesn't go that far away from my head, I guess.
Yeah. I use a wireless for my computer more because like load times I can run to the bathroom or stuff like that, so that's nice. But when I do play my Xbox, I typically have a wired headset. So
I'm just curious on how these headsets are gonna,
the
wireless function in them is gonna be spot on, or is it gonna be like a little shady?
Was that a held back cough, sneeze?
Yes.
Sound like you're just snorting real loud.
Yes, it was.
In my opinion, if I'm Astro or anybody like that, I'm making sure I come out with something that's not shady.
Yeah.
Even if it takes even if Scorpio releases and it still takes me a little bit to get to it.
So you don't think it's going to be released with the?
I mean,
I want it to be, and I think they're going to try to. But in my opinion, I'd much rather have them take advantage of the fact that you can have a headset connect directly to the Xbox and not have to plug in a USB from a Bluetooth receiver and then charge batteries and all that stuff. Obviously, you still have batteries. But I know the new Astro A50s, which are their Bluetooth wireless, they have a charging dock.
So you just set the headset up on the dock and then
it charges every time.
Right.
Whereas like my SteelSeries ones, I have 2 interchangeable batteries that charge, but they charge in the Bluetooth receiver. So the receiver charges the batteries and receives all the audio and stuff. So it's really cool. It's a neat package. But if they can take away all of that receiver bullcrap and just have headset, controller, Scorpio.
Yeah, and
That
as
would be
far as these third-party companies like Astro, SteelSeries, I don't know if you should expect something to come out day and date with Scorpio, because I think they're going to want to see what sales of Scorpio look like before they mass produce a bunch of headsets, because who knows if Scorpio even sells well. If it doesn't sell well,
Bite your tongue.
why bother?
Well,
I mean, hey,
the
they
hope
got
is
3
there.
sales right here.
Yeah.
So,
The other thing that I know Astro likes to do is they just kind of make their headsets kind of malleable to the point where you can use it on all systems. So if you make a receiver with a USB out, then that's going to be able to plug into your PS4. That's going to be able to plug into your PC. That's going to be able to plug into your Xbox 360, your Xbox One. Your Scorpio will probably have at least one USB port, hopefully. So
hopefully it has multiple.
So they can do stuff like that where, you know, as soon as Scorpio comes out, they can be like, hey, with your Scorpio release, we just released these A50s that are Scorpio enabled.
Yeah.
Because I feel like anything that's Xbox One enabled, you can use on the Xbox One. You're going to be able to use it on Scorpio. They're not changing.
I mean, and with the Xbox too, really, if you have any headset that has a 3.5 millimeter,
you can plug it right into
you can plug it right into either the adapter or on the new controllers. You just plug them straight into the controller. Then you can't mess with the audio. So I would never not use the adapter, but that adapter is like $20, and being able to mute and change the actual volume of your audio in game is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So interested to see where they go.
Yeah. Waterloo, some couple games came out today.
Yeah, that is very, very true. 2 games that came out today were Surge.
Surge, which we had talked about a couple podcasts ago, because it's weird because even listening to like other podcasts and getting like my news from other outlets, like I haven't seen anything on the Surge.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons was because they had a review embargo, so outlets couldn't publish their reviews until today when it actually came out.
Okay.
Recently, Bethesda is the latest development team to hop on that trend, or publisher. So I think that's probably why we haven't heard a lot about it. I still think it looks awesome. I went into the store today to look at it, and it's $59.99 though. But that's the thing. I don't know how big this game actually is, or like what the scope of the game is. So
Yeah, because I haven't
tough.
heard too much about it. I've seen that one preview. The last time I did something like one of these games, it was Technomancer, and
where you were just like, all right, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me hop into it, and then
I got the price tag of $59, and I
Kinda
felt
got
like I
screwed.
got duped on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, I played it for maybe like 2 hours, but still.
so $30 an hour. That's not a very good price point for any game.
Yeah. I mean, luckily, has anybody tried to look at a streamer play it or anything like that? We do have that opportunity now, which is
Yeah,
kinda nice.
and like IGN put out the first 19 minutes, I think is what it was called, of the Surge. So I watched some of that.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It looks it reminds me of Dark Souls. It's just hack and slash, but it's like technical hack and slash, kind of like For Honor, I guess, where you need to be parrying at the right time. You need to be using your light attack or your heavy attack at the right time.
Which that's pretty appealing to me.
Yeah.
Which like I feel like it'd be fun. Like it would be a good time, but is it gonna be worth the price tag? Is it gonna actually give me at least a 8-hour story mode into it?
Yeah, and
which I don't
they
know.
had a release. It was like their I don't know what they call it. Like the trailer that comes out on the same day as release. They had that trailer that just had a little bit of story, and like the story, it looks good. If like Dan Pod was like, hey, let's get this for $30, I think it looks fine.
Yeah.
I was also hoping maybe it was in Redbox. Same thing with the other game, which is Injustice 2.
Yeah. I could see Injustice 2 being in Redbox.
Neither one of them are.
I wouldn't see Surge though.
I couldn't see the Surge because there's been no publicity around
Yeah.
it.
But
Injustice 2, yeah.
is the other game that was released today.
Yep. So Injustice 2 dropped today. That's another game that $60, and I can't bring myself to buy it full price by myself.
Yeah.
Which
it is
happens to a
fighting
lot of
game, too.
games. That's right.
One of the reasons why it's hard to buy a $60 fighting game, even though it has over 2.5 hours of story into it.
Yeah, like actual cutscenes.
When you look at it that way, and more of a movie, still 2.5 hours of a movie is not really worth $60.
Yeah.
No matter which way you try splitting it.
But I think if you're super into fighting games, if you love Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, that kind of stuff, and you like the DC universe, this is probably an easy buy for a lot of people that have those two interests in common. The DC universe is fine, in my opinion. It doesn't compare to Marvel. But fighting games, like, that's not my thing. I bought Injustice, the first Injustice, like, a couple months ago because I was getting excited about Injustice 2, and I tried to play it. And, like, they had the cool story mode and stuff. And that's, like, all I was fighting for was just, like, get through this fight so you can see what happens next in the story. So I only got, like, 3 or 4 fights into that. So it's probably good that I don't spend $60 on this game. I should probably just go on YouTube and watch the 2.5 hours of the cutscenes, I guess.
But I do like how they were adding features into the Injustice 2 where you can upgrade your person by putting different things onto them.
So you could get like a helmet that'll help out your light attack or like help your defense, help your speed, stamina, that kind of stuff.
Is a nice little touch that I think they're finally adding to fighting games.
It gives you something to play for.
Gives you a reason to grind, I guess.
Yeah, and like if you get duplicates or you get pieces of armor or gear that you don't want, you can break them down to put them into the gear you already have to make that stuff stronger. So even if you're getting stuff that you can't use or don't want to use, it's still useful for you.
Now, do you know if there's like in this situation it would make certain people feel like it's unfair to play? So is there like a tier system? Or...
All right, so like as far as like online goes, I don't think they're using that. At least for competitive like tournament play, they're not gonna
just nulls it.
You could use the gear like as an aesthetic.
So you look cooler.
So you like if you like a pair of goggles you got or a pair of gloves that Batman got, you can use them, but they're not gonna give you the stat boost.
Okay.
Which I think is good to keep everybody on a level playing field. But as far as like the story goes, the campaign mode, that's where all those stats will come in, and then I'm sure there'll be game modes where you're online and playing against kids. Yeah. Hopefully they'll figure out a good way to actually pair you up with people. But yeah, I think it looks good. And I wish it wasn't a fighting game. I wish it was a third-person action game where I got to play a bunch of different superheroes. But maybe someday.
Maybe. Who knows?
We got a video today on the May Xbox update. So Arenas is something that they talked about last E3. It's so you could set up tournaments within games. It's coming to Killer Instinct first. So these are tournaments that, like, you could make one Waterloo. Yep, you could be like, hey, the tournament's this Saturday at 1. I need 16 spots filled. People will fill the spots. Hopefully. I don't know how that would work if people don't show up. Maybe there's like a standby kind of thing where you can be like, if someone doesn't show up, you'll fill in. So it's only dropping for Killer Instinct right now. Also, if you have if you're part of a club, like if you're in the Killer Instinct club and you make a tournament, it'll post to everybody else in the club like, hey, this tournament's going on here. Otherwise, like if you made one, you'd have to actually tell people unless we were all in some type of club together.
Okay. That's pretty interesting. I like that.
Yeah. As far as the LFG goes on the system, you'll now get LFG notifications. So if somebody's looking to play a certain game, you'll get a notification if you follow them. So say you're looking for somebody to play FIFA with you. You hit the LFG. It's like, hey, I need somebody to play a game of FIFA with. I'll get a notification. And then if I want or whatever, I can just hop right into FIFA with you. So that's something that wasn't there before. And that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And the last big thing is a party overlay. This I actually think is pretty awesome. So this is just so... You know how in like Destiny, if you're playing and you're not in a party, you can actually see the little like speak icon and you can see who's talking. As soon as you went into a party, that all disappeared. Which if you're ever playing with like randoms and you hear someone talking like, hey, I'm on the right, but you don't know their voice yet, like you have no idea who it is. So now with this, you can actually overlay it in any of the like 9 or 8 quadrants on your screen and you can change the transparency. So they just made that so you can always tell who's talking. this is big. I think I just thought it was a big deal because there was so many times that I rated like solo with randoms that when people would do call outs, if they didn't refer to themselves first, like, this is risky, I'm over on the right side. Like, people never do that shit. So having this and actually getting to see who's talking, I think is going to be great.
Yeah. I just don't want them to get too busy with their screens. I know Beam can do an overlay now as well. So this happens on PC as well. Like if I'm on a Discord channel, Discord has an overlay in most games in the upper left. But I don't want so if you're streaming Beam and you're in a party, is that going to make your screen look super busy if you have both overlays set up and you also have everything you're trying to show people on your screen?
I would assume so. I think this one, especially if you turn the transparency real low or real high, I don't really... You make it so you don't see it as much. I don't think it'll be as big of a deal, and that's pretty small as far as just somebody's names popping up. It's not huge. Yeah. The Beam thing, the Beam chat thing that you can move around, that's definitely bigger than these names.
And that stays there, where I think these sound like they more pop up just when they're being used. They don't say everything, or they're not grayed out and then light up when someone's talking. It sounds like they kind of pop.
I think they pop, so you shouldn't have any type of background really, like no dimmed out, like you were saying, like a dark gray shooting up to a light gray when someone's talking.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's being rolled out now to different people, so it'll show up randomly.
Oh, you missed one more comment on the bottom of that.
Party overlay to see who's speaking. And then I wrote,
awesome.
This is awesome. Because like I said, it was the whole Destiny thing where never knowing who was talking. It's cool, okay? And I thought it was awesome. So I was making sure you guys knew it was awesome in our notes.
I want to make sure they knew it was awesome.
All right, good. What else? Hitman. So earlier this week, Square Enix said that they were looking to sell off IO Entertainment, who makes the Hitman games. Well, has made the last Hitman game, and they were supposed to be working on Season 2. They had their earnings calls for the year, and they thought one cut they had to make was IO Entertainment, which sucks because that would essentially shut down the studio, or would shut down Hitman. So we thought, but it turns out, or according to a German games outlet named GameStar, who has reliable sources, I put that in quotations, they said that IO Entertainment is actually the rights holder of Hitman. So if they get sold to a different publisher, like say EA picks them up for whatever reason, they can bring Hitman with them. And apparently they're already like halfway through Season 2 right now in development. So hopefully they get sold to somebody and can actually afford to publish it, because Square Enix was paying IO Interactive or Entertainment to make the games. And now they're trying to sell them, so they're probably cut funding to them. So I thought this was going to be a bigger story at the beginning of the week, because we didn't know that they actually own the rights to Hitman, but they do. So somebody will pick them up. That game was good. I didn't play a ton of it, but I know a lot of people loved it. Critically, it was well received.
I only think I played the first original Hitman, and then kind of
there's been a ton of them, so
straight away from them.
Yeah. And the last thing, just making sure that Waterloo wasn't muted this whole time. The last thing I wanted to talk about was just some goings-ons of E3 this year. We're less than a month away from E3.
That's
crazy.
Awesome.
The gamer's Christmas, some would call it. That's what I call it.
Or
I called
Hanukkah,
it that once.
Because it's more than one day.
Ooh, he has you there.
It is the gamer's Hanukkah.
Yeah.
That still sounds kind of
Thank
weird.
you for that. First, I'm just going to run through the schedule the way it's set up right now. So E3 is starting early this week, a day earlier.
Not this week.
This year.
This year is
go.
what I meant.
Don't want to confuse people.
So Saturday, EA is going to kick it off at 3 p.m. They're going to be the only ones on Saturday.
Saturday, June 10th.
Saturday,
So they
June
don't think
10th.
it's this upcoming Saturday.
Lewis isn't going to be here, so that's sad.
Oh, Lewis, where are you going to be?
He'll get over it, though.
I mean, we're just gonna watch the live stream, so it's not like you can.
You can watch it from your phone anywhere in the world.
But I don't have unlimited data.
Where are you going to
Maybe
be?
in a month you will have unlimited data with your new job.
I will be down in Georgia at a wedding.
Are you going to eat a lot of peaches?
There's,
I have
there's
millions of peaches, and
Find
they'll
a-
all be free.
a hotel with Wi-Fi.
That could happen.
Hey,
Tell the person you can't make the wedding.
just
I mean,
hide
I
your
can't really
phone.
do that.
What other good excuses do you have? Shopa, quick.
Too late. I'm already at the wedding.
Break an ankle.
I'm not gonna break an ankle.
Death in the family.
I'm going to my family's wedding.
Your dog.
Other side of the family. Dog was sick.
You
Can't
came
leave.
down with something.
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
chlamydia.
have to go.
Oh,
That's a nice word.
Jesus. All right. So,
My go-to.
so EA kicking it off Saturday. Next, we have Microsoft the following day, which is going to be June 11th, which is a Sunday. Not this Sunday. A few weeks from now is Sunday at 5 p.m. Also, that day is going to be Bethesda at 10. Well, that night, I guess. That's late.
Is that
No, these are all Eastern.
Eastern?
I made sure.
so? It's,
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's 7 Pacific.
Okay, so yeah, I
Which
guess
is-
that's normal. So then going into the Monday morning spot where Microsoft usually is going to be the PC gaming show
Hoot hoot.
at 1, followed by the Ubisoft show, which is going to be at 4, and then Sony at 9, and then Nintendo is going to do Nintendo things by itself the following day at noon.
That'd be Tuesday. You're saying then, right?
I am saying that will be June 13th, the Tuesday of next month. One of the 4 Tuesdays of next month.
You can't promise there's 4 Tuesdays.
I can't.
but you get the drift.
And the gist.
Both.
I get both of them. So a couple more things. 434 Studios is not bringing Halo 6. So anybody that was excited about Halo 6 or any type of announcement around that, they had to come out and temper everybody's expectations. They won't be there.
Sad face.
Master Chief, our savior. I haven't played a lot of Halo games, to be honest.
Dude, what if they just came out with Halo 6 like right around everybody else, and they were just like, we didn't feel like going to E3. We didn't feel
So
like
like we went to E3 and had nothing to say, but then like 2 months from now they're like, "Hey, Halo 6 is out." Is that what you meant?
yeah.
I don't
Like,
think that'll
what?
happen.
Just make people really happy. Surprises are always nice.
Where's the hype train if you're not at E3?
I mean, it's the 6th one. Do you really need anybody else to hop on a train at that point? I'm not hump a train. I misspoke there for a second.
I didn't even say anything. I just grinned at you.
I know. I mean,
So
I want to get back into Halo, but
that's one thing that's not happening. Here's one thing that we think is going to happen at the Ubisoft presentation. Today, they announced a few things that were going to be there, but didn't really talk much about them. Far Cry 5. We talked about this news story. It was either last week or the week before about how there was filming in Montana.
Montana.
So it's going to be a Western. Modern Western is what we're thinking is. Like,
So
it just takes
modern
place.
day Montana?
Yes, modern day Montana is where this Far Cry could
So
be.
like right now, Montana.
Like Montana now.
that's going to be an interesting game.
So who knows what they're going to do. Those games, the antagonists in those games have always been great. So hopefully this is coming off of Far Cry Primal, which they went way back in time, and now they're going over to Montana. These guys are crazy.
They're all over the timeline.
Also, The Crew 2, which I don't think needed a sequel. That game was a game with gold earlier this year, I think, or the end of last year. When it first came out, it had a ton of connectivity issues, server issues. It was just bad. Like a goat bad.
Bad.
There it is. So that'll be here. And then the last one, after taking a couple years off, is going to be Assassin's Creed. Are you okay, Lou?
Yeah, we've managed to pull through on that one.
Pulled
All
down
right. So
They
You
leaked
threw
an
me off.
image.
yeah, an image leaked that showed an assassin on a boat, which is weird because
Did he have his flippy floppies?
There's
I don't think he had his flippy floppies or his water wings. So if he can't swim, He also didn't have a life jacket.
There's no hay to jump out of.
Yeah. So this one's rumored to be in Egypt. The picture that Waterloo is talking about, it has mission text on the left of the screen, and it says, "Follow Shadia to Canut's villa." I feel like I'm butchering that. Canut?
Canut? Yeah, like tut? Canut?
Khenut was an Egyptian queen, if you look that up. So I think we're getting Egypt for the next Assassin's Creed. It's rumored to be called Assassin's Creed Origins. This will be obviously the earliest Assassin's Creed. Before that, there was like Roman times and that kind of stuff. But I just was wondering how you guys felt about an Assassin's Creed game taking place in Egypt.
I mean, I feel like it'd be kind of cool. I was always fascinated with Egypt when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think the setting, it's a cool setting, but Assassin's Creed games to me have always been scaling the tallest buildings.
Like Egypt didn't have much.
They have like pyramids.
Put the final fight on a pyramid. That's pretty epic.
No, yeah, like that's epic. But these games are like 30 hours long, and they're like, run to here, go up this tower, jump off of it, sink it, blah blah blah.
I also heard that there are no towers to really sink to.
Yeah, I wonder why. It's because they're in Egypt.
So maybe they'll have to like sink on a camel or something. Like ride the camel around the area.
Sink like SYNC. Just. Don't
like
sink.
SINK, like the.
Yeah, you jump on the camel, then you sink around the town, and you're like, oh, I know what the town's like now.
I do agree. It does seem like a weird timeline, but from what I get from Assassin's Creed, it's all about you're a people's person, and Egypt around any time is if you're fighting for the people, that's what they're looking for.
So maybe this one will be more based on like stealth. And blending in, so not so much being
Sinking,
on high tower and attacking.
Especially in the Origins, you're really just getting these people are just getting a feel for everything they are as assassins. So just sneaking around and maybe you sync 1 or 2 kills together with a companion or something. In like an open market, you have 2 guards who are guarding an important door.
I also heard that they changed the fighting system too in this. They revamped it, and so it could almost be a whole new game.
Yeah, okay, I guess. I'm still not sold on it. I'll have to see what they bring to the table at E3. But
that's what it's for.
Of course. Always want to know.
The setting's just weird to me because we've been climbing skyscrapers and
since day one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's always awesome getting to the top of the tallest building in these games and just like spinning 360 and being like, holy, this place is huge and like it's beautiful. And now it's gonna be like climb up the pyramid and there's just a lot of sand.
Well, who
I guess when I think of Egypt, I just think of like a pyramid in the middle of the desert and then just nothing else is there. Hopefully that's not what Egypt's actually like.
I haven't seen.
Excuse my arrogance.
I don't know when. What was that chick's name? Canuthrop. Canut. I don't know when like her timeline is. Also, like there could be no pyramids.
Like, then this game's gonna be real boring if there's no pyramids and we're in the middle of the desert.
This has to do after the pyramids, just because
you would have
Egypt. The staple of Egypt are the Sphinx and the pyramid. You're not gonna get much more.
Oh, maybe you jump off the face of the Sphinx.
I could see you scaling the Sphinx.
Maybe the Earth's flat in this one, and you can just jump off the edge of the Earth, so you don't have to play the game anymore.
Now we're just getting ridiculous.
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, we were at least trying here.
I wasn't.
Well, we'll have to see what it looks like at E3. They have every opportunity to make this look just as gorgeous and even better if they, put it to good use on the Scorpio. So hopefully they do it justice and bring us out another good Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, and I think this is probably taking some time off was good for them. Having an Assassin's Creed game every year.
It was almost oversaturated.
It was too much, yeah. They're it's about as oversaturated as you could be as far as a game franchise goes.
Yeah.
That and Call of Duty, but Call of Duty at least has
boots on the ground.
Well, multiplayer and
Yeah, it's
a
not just
continual
building.
building.
It's not just a story. So
Well, they tried the multiplayer, and
I've tried a few of the Assassin's Creed
Assassin's-
multiplayers, and I've never been a fan. A
Yeah.
lot of it's like there's you and other assassins, and you're trying to like fit in with people walking on the streets and whatnot, and you like sit down, and you're just trying to make it so the other player can't see you. But as soon as you like start to run or you like move weird, they can find you. It's just it was slow.
I watched some of it. It kind of looked like Ring Around the Rosie. Where you're
Uh,
just kind of running and hiding, running and hiding.
Yeah,
running and
I
hiding.
think that's it's pretty good.
So,
Pretty good one of those things.
but I'm excited for it to come out. Definitely am.
Yeah.
Excited to see it at E3.
That's just a few of the E3 things. Leading up to E3, though, I'm sure we'll keep hearing more leaks, getting more news on it. So stay tuned for that. But I think anybody else news stories? Anything?
Nope.
No. So let's move into games with gold
It deals with gold.
with Shopa.
So, this week, we still have Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams. Did you play any more of that, Risky?
No, I didn't. Which I said I might, but I didn't. So hey, maybe I will this week.
That's all good. And you still have Lego Star Wars. Oh, Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga is new, right? It
Yep,
was.
that's new.
I just downloaded
Um,
that
Well, what was it?
As
The
of
last- the last
yesterday.
one.
as of the 15th.
As of the 15th, so yesterday. So that's cool.
Yeah,
Did you get to play any of it?
the complete saga. I've played a good chunk of it before, so I wasn't super excited to rush into it, but I probably will. That was one of the first Lego games, and I still think probably one of the best. I also love Star Wars though, so
It's a
I'm
win-win.
biased.
Win-win.
But yeah, the Lego games are fun for a while, and Star Wars is cool, so definitely worth free.
That can't beat free. And also Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris,
Oh boy,
which you'll possibly hear more about later.
maybe.
And for your deals with gold, let me switch pages here. Let's see, Plants vs. Zombies Garden.
Warfare 2.
Ooh, yeah, that part wasn't
It's
the
cut
part
off.
wasn't on my page. It was all cut off. I watched a bunch of people play this on their phones. Way back when.
Yeah, that's just Plants vs. Zombies. This is a third-person action shooter. It's a competitive multiplayer. It's like Overwatch with plants and zombies characters. Like you have different classes. Like the corn can shoot farther, and it's weird.
Oh, that does sound really weird, actually.
I've heard it's good.
Really? Well, it's 60% off.
So if you're into that, get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's also in the EA Access Vault if you subscribe to that.
So subscribe to that, which is what we keep telling you. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is 67% off. I've never played one of those games.
I played the first Mirror's Edge, which was a lot of fun. It was a beautiful game for being on the 360. Catalyst came out. I bought it when it was on a sale for $20. I can see it from here. It's just sitting over there not being played somewhere. I thought I could see it. I can't see it. But I bought a hard copy of it, and I haven't gotten to it. So maybe some year I'll get to it.
one of these upcoming years.
Too many games, not enough time.
You should just quit your job then.
Yeah, right. Final Fantasy 15.
That's a good one. We've talked about
Already.
it here.
It's it's pretty recent actually. So it's not
It's a
one of those
little
games that
chocobo-y.
came.
It's a little chocobo.
Yeah.
All right.
That was punny. And they have the premium edition for 40% off as well. I Am Bread. It's the food Groot edition. I Am Groot. Get it?
Yeah.
I
Man,
don't-
that
no
game
idea.
doesn't look good.
Yeah. Fru.
All right.
It's got a cat on it. 50% off. A Connect game. Look at that.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Commander Cherry for Connect.
Turn it off.
Who even has Connect anymore?
Shut it down.
Sorry.
Schrodinger's cat
It's a good name
and
at
the
least.
Raiders of the Cutoff. Because it got cut off on mine.
All right. Good.
Worms Battlegrounds. Looks kind of like a arcadey.
It's a turn-based strategy game, like where you're worms on opposite side of the map.
Trying to kill each other's worms by firing projectiles up into the air, right?
Yeah, and also blowing up landscapes.
All right. Cool.
Team 17 Indie Collection. I don't know anything about that.
Team 17. I've bought a few of their games. 99 Heroes, LA Cops.
I remember 99 Heroes.
Ali Ali 2. They have a few good games. It's like $120 worth of games, and it's $20 right now.
85% off. So yeah.
Yeah, like that's if you need some small indie games to just something to do when you're not trying to.
So
play
Risky, this
giant
is
games.
not for you, just because you have way too many other games that you should probably play first.
Yeah, I mean, and I have half of the games in that pack, anyways.
Do they still charge you the same amount even if you own some of them?
Oh
already?
yeah,
Really?
I'd be surprised if they didn't.
You're screwed up there. Fix that. If you're gonna buy games, or if you're gonna buy a bundle,
Take
and you already
like
have some of the
$2
games,
off for every
take
game.
like the percentage off or whatever.
Then I might have bought it. So
Yeah.
that could be a good call.
Earth's Dawn for 33% off. Lovely Planet, 50% off. That sounds familiar, but I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I don't know what most of these are.
Pure Pool.
All right, well, I'm assuming that's a billiards game.
Hey, billiards
It
game.
is.
Pure Hold'em.
I'm assuming that's a poker game.
Texas Hold'em, I believe.
No, it's just a game where you hold onto your controller for as long as you can.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah,
it's
really bad.
pretty bad.
And then Destiny Taken King and Destiny the entire collection, 35% off and 40% off.
Yeah, I mean, if you've never done it, do it.
Yeah, it's
Um,
and it was only what $80 for the whole thing, anyways.
yeah, it's
So it's
if
down
you've
to,
never
like,
played the game, it's a lot of content for
For-
a small price point.
45, I think.
So yeah, definitely do that if you haven't played Destiny, or if you're looking to get yourself psyched for Destiny 2 coming out. I guess.
Already psyched enough.
I can't wait. I saw today. I was looking on the news. I showed Waterloo this. They announced that they're going to be doing Destiny Funko Pops for.
Destiny 2 or
Well,
all
no,
of
just
them?
for like old school Destiny, like a lot of the NPCs like Cade, Zavala, and then a lot of the raid bosses, like Atheon and Crota, that kind of stuff. I saw these things. I was pumped.
Yeah,
having
it was.
having a little Cade 6 Funko Pop. Oh, he's so cute. He's gonna be so cute.
What can you do with the Funko Pops?
Nothing. You just leave him in the
Collect
box and you look at him. It's great.
Yeah,
That,
sure. Everybody
Most of the things I love just stay in boxes so I can look at them. Or you know what? Sometimes
amazing.
you grow up and you rip them out of the box.
don't rip them out of the box.
Like my Jack Cooper Titanfall 2 statue that was $5. Decided he's probably never going to go up in value. Might as well rip him out of the box. I got a few boxes over there I got to open up.
I mean, yeah, if you're
Some of
gonna
them.
display them and
Once this show's live and these people can see our beautiful faces,
Yeah, we'll just put
wouldn't it be nice to have some Jack Coopers standing around and some Star Lords and some K2SOs and Titanfall stuff, and Destiny stuffs? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Backdrop is just a wall of
white.
pot figures.
It's just a wall of white. That's all it's going to be.
right now.
That's all it's ever going to be. I'm going to draw on it with crayon.
Just try.
I'm going to
we'll
write
just-
Xbox Community Cast in my left hand on the wall with crayon, and that'll be the backdrop.
It won't even look like it. Color it and just color your whole wall in green.
Yeah. Okay, so also going on right now is the backwards compatibility sale. So I think it's between 200 and 300 Xbox 360 games that are all on sale digitally now for like ridiculous discounts, like 75. I was looking at them with Waterloo today, and I picked up
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Is that what it's called? Whatever it's called, but it was $2.49.
Yeah, it was cheap.
Even if both of you want to play it, then it's $1.25.
Yeah, and I mean, and like the older Call of Duty games, like Black Ops 2 is on there. That's real cheap right now. There's a ton of them. Go Xbox.com. You can look at all the deals. Every week you can look at all the deals with goals. Also, Major Nelson has a blog. That's where I get most of that stuff. Definitely check those things out. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff we all missed on 360. Being able to pick that stuff up now, even if it doesn't look the best, some of those games are still some of the best games that have ever been made. So,
Yeah.
for
Right.
$3 and between $3 and $10 for a lot of these games. And, I was talking about Skate 3 the other day. I was like, oh, I could really play some Skate 3 because it was on there.
Yeah.
For like $6. I didn't buy it, but I probably will.
Lord knows, we probably will. I kind of don't want to go back and look through for all the games that I just would want to buy and spend.
You'd probably look at all of them and be like, I've never played any of these. I have to buy them all.
Probably not.
Sound like a race car.
I'm a big good-looking guy. Stuff's gotta look good. Stuff's gotta look good for me to like it.
All right. Just to be clear, you're not a big, good-looking guy.
Well,
You just like games that look good and are big.
yeah.
All right, cool. Well, those are your deals and games with gold. Let's get into what we've been playing this week. Waterloo, you were sick. You were in bed. You were out of commission. But what did you play this week? Did you play anything?
Some For Honor and some Prey.
All right.
I mean, I did play a little Switch just because it was convenient to lay in bed.
Switch at a time like that, I can imagine, was probably the best system you could have had.
Yeah, it was nice being able to lay in bed, not strain my eyes trying to watch my TV.
Because you could also take the Joy-Cons off and just put them wherever you wanted, like get as comfortable as you wanted and play.
Play some Minecraft, so I did some of that.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you bought that. How's that getting back into Minecraft? Oh, that'd be sweet if
it's nice.
If I could play with you like from my Xbox and play with you when you're on your Switch.
That would be like
that'd be pretty sweet.
Cross-platform.
Console.
Yeah, there we go.
Cross console.
Trans console.
Trans console.
Cross-platform.
Servers of the
Minecraftingness.
Yes. But it's been fun getting back into it.
Good.
I heard, did it look good?
I mean,
because I read an article
running at 720p.
Oh my god, it looks like Minecraft.
That's my understanding. Is I didn't understand why it really mattered because it's Minecraft. It's literally pixels. Like
it's like
if you can tell the difference between 720p Minecraft and 1080p Minecraft, good for you.
Which you probably even can't because you've been playing it on Xbox, which only runs at 900 anyway. So you're only missing 180p's.
I mean, it looks good. I think it's a great game for the Switch.
I mean, I've heard it's the best handheld version of this.
Oh, it certainly is.
Minecraft.
Because I have it on my iPad, and that's not very comfortable, to be honest, holding an iPad.
One problem is my mining finger gets a little...
What is mining? Right trigger?
Yeah.
Well, right... Whatever's up on the right.
Yeah, you're mining the way the Switch is made itself with the Joy-Cons. If you don't have it in the actual controller and you have it on the system, it kind of hurts your finger after a while, but you can just readjust your hand. And it's fine. But
I can see that.
Other than that, I mean, I have no problems or qualms with it. I think it's great.
Yeah, they also came out and said that it's like significantly bigger than what they were able to do on the Wii U.
Yeah, it's
like
I think amount of
17 times larger.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot bigger. Nowhere near as big as in the Xbox One, but
it was like 3,000 blocks by 3,000 blocks.
Yeah, something ridiculous.
Which is I don't even know what it is on the Xbox. But.
I'm not sure about that either, but what did I see? Oh, the reason that it was 720p is because they were having problems having a stable frame rate, I think. Going between handheld and docking.
Yep.
Which is something they do for
I'm pretty sure they did it for Zelda.
They do it for Zelda. So I think you can play it 1080 when it's a console.
Yeah.
But I think it drops down when you start playing it on handheld. But they couldn't fix that problem for Minecraft, they said.
So I did hear that eventually down the line we should be able to get 1080 for docked mode for games, which will be really interesting and nice, and it just shows that the system can compete, is able to compete with some of the newer systems like the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Yeah, I think once they get enough games out and once they really smooth over any rough edges. It's going to be nice for maybe somebody who travels a lot.
Oh, yeah. I could see it definitely being a travel Person's
like,
best friend, Travel's gamer's best friend.
It's like something I saw an article the other day where Samsung has come out with a device where you can plug your phone in, and then that device plugs into a monitor, and you can use your phone as the computer at that point, and you can use everything that you're doing on your phone, you can do on your computer, which is a cool idea because you use your phone all day, and when you get home, you can just plug it into the computer and do everything you're going to do on your phone.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same idea. You can bring your Switch with you to work, play it for an hour on lunch, and when you come home, plug it in.
Where are you where you get an hour lunch break?
Same place you are, bud.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to take hour
You
lunch
did
breaks.
say that there was a man in training playing his Nintendo Switch.
He was. We had like a little break, and he
Did you guys high five?
I tried it. I don't think he liked me very much.
Are you guys now best friends?
No, that's for sure
Did
not.
you just become best friends?
I wish.
Is
but
there
no.
plenty of room for activities?
Like jumping jacks?
Like
No.
building bunk beds, I would say.
No, there's definitely not that much room.
Ah, it's too bad.
Bummer.
No.
But I'm really excited to see where it goes. Like, I want to get one because I think the adaptation of it is really cool. But at this moment, I already play enough PC and Xbox where I don't think it would get a lot of playtime. So might as well not buy a whole new console.
Yeah, I have a PlayStation 4 that has more exclusives than the Xbox, and I still haven't touched those.
I think it's like a dust collector.
It's definitely a dust
or
collector.
a roach collector, possibly.
I see where you're coming from here.
Aha!
All right, Shopa, what have you been playing this week? Lou, good work. Trying to get some stuff done, even though you're sick. We applaud you on that.
Well, man, I feel like if I was sick, I'd get so much more Xbox.
No.
One.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you'd get the 3rd-degree rash from us.
No, I hope not. If I get sick, that'd suck. I was able to play some Overwatch. Still like to get into that. I played that over Call of Duty now for FPS multiplayer.
A lot of people do, so good.
So I played Prey, obviously. And like I said earlier, when we moved my Xbox out, my girlfriend is a big fan of racing games. So we got her into GTA 5.
Which is some of my favorite racing. I don't know if it's because I don't like simi racing games, like the Forza games, or what, but driving in Grand Theft Auto 5 is probably my favorite thing to do in Grand Theft Auto 5. So
Yeah.
So I played,
The driving in Grand Theft Auto.
It's a lot of fun.
Really good.
and it's kind of funny to watch because she's not used to the thumbsticks yet. So her playing through the beginning part where you have to rob a bank and go through the whole tutorial and stuff is kind of funny to watch because she's just aiming at the ceiling and wondering why she can't
I think
move.
that's the toughest part for anyone gaming when you start is trying to figure out the correlation between your left and right thumb and those joysticks and what they're actually doing to you.
Yeah.
If you give them games where you don't need the right thumb to actually look around and just use left for movement, I find that newer gamers won't have a problem with that left thumbsticks. It's once you need a right thumbstick to actually be looking while you're strafing left with your left hand or left thumb. It really throws a lot of people for loops when they're starting out. So
Yeah. So what we ended up doing is she actually started playing the Minecraft tutorial.
that I would say that's a great way. That's a great way to get her into it because there's not a lot of consequence to being bad at it.
Yeah.
You can't throw her into Call of Duty where people bullets are
It's
flying at
tiny.
you. You're gonna get frustrated
Yeah.
because you just want to learn how to look around and people are just trying to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft, I think
It's-
that's a great idea.
And it doesn't, you being slow and being less accurate with your thumbsticks doesn't matter in Minecraft. You can take 3 minutes to turn a 360 because it doesn't matter. You just had to mine that one tree. So I'm hoping that she stays with it. It'd be nice to get her into some actual Xbox games. She said she's a big Need for Speed fan. And I know one of those is coming out this year. I think they're going to shoot me some stuff for E3. So hope maybe she'll get into that. But I played some Pub Battlegrounds. That was on the PC.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
We've talked about it before.
Hopefully coming to Xbox soon.
Supposedly, it's has a huge following already on PC, and it was a lot of fun, honestly.
It's all the podcasts I listen to. This is what 90% of them are all playing. So it's huge, and it sucks that not everybody can experience this right now. So hopefully we do get it on consoles. PS4 gets on consoles. I hope everybody gets a chance to play this. Personally, I'm pumped for that. If that comes out for Xbox, I think we'll all have a lot of fun with that.
One of the weird things is it's technically still beta.
Yeah, and a lot of those
The
games
PC,
on Steam,
H1Z1,
the like Hunger Games-esque games, I feel like they sit in
beta
forever.
Because they never want. They're always looking for ways to balance. They're always looking for ways to better a game, increase things, decrease things.
Like that's what small incremental patches do. Like I don't think a game gets released now that doesn't have a patch at some point down the road. Like the first few months to patch in things that they may have overstepped. So I don't know why they have to stay in beta for so long. It's got to be polished close enough to the point of being in a final release state.
Well, that and they have like test servers. So when you buy PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, you buy the game itself that's in beta, plus you get a test server. So if they're gonna come out with a patch, you have a test server to play it. It's the same thing with like League of Legends has a implemented beta testing that you can go on and play, so you can get early access to all the stuff, and you can give them feedback. Some of the bigger streamers, they actually Riot asked them for feedback for it. So why can't you come out with a regular game for PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds and then keep that test server and say, we're thinking about doing this, it's in the test server, go play it and tell us what you think.
Right, and that's what I feel like that's what a lot of games do. So hopefully we see that soon. We have a great platform for it, having the Xbox One preview program. So games that are in beta, we should be able to play them. Last I heard, they said they were putting the quote-unquote finishing touches on the console version. But I know they're also still trying to keep up with their game on Steam, obviously. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully we get that soon. But you been playing anything else?
Just Counter-Strike and League like always. But I'm not going to continue to say those because I play those every week.
True. Speaking of games I play every week, none of these are games that I play every week, so that wasn't even a good transition. Really.
I was going to say, you got some pretty new games on here. New to you, at least.
Prey. Yep. Everybody's praying Prey. Hopped into... Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Oh, punny.
Witcher 3. I hopped back into that for a bit. It was daunting when I opened up my quests tab to see what should I be doing right now, and there's 5 main quests, 15 side quests, 16 Witcher contracts, and then 3 treasure quests or something. Holy hell.
Yeah.
And my problem is I see all these stupid side quests, like the Witcher contracts. I was like, all right, I don't need to do those. I probably do, but the treasure missions or whatever, whatever. But the side missions, I felt like I had to clear every stupid side mission before I could go do more main missions. So I played a bunch of those. But the thing is, every side mission that I start in The Witcher 3, it's fantastic. These little half-hour to hour missions that I'm going on are better than some stories that are told over 10, 20 hours in other games. It's weird, and it sucks because if I'm ever going to beat this game, it's going to take me 300 hours. I don't have time for that.
Who has time for 300
No one has time for that.
Lord, Witcher. But I didn't get back into Witcher.
You should. Everyone should. For a small amount of time, maybe just play the main story missions.
If you play 100 hours a year, you'll finish in 3 years.
I feel like the game's already been out for 3 years. Frustrating. Also got back into NBA Playgrounds. I've been improving slightly at that. Pro tip, don't shoot at the top of your jump. I don't know if I mentioned this last week.
Yep.
Shoot right before it.
I believe I actually said that.
Yes.
I said that there was some game lag in it.
I hope it's not because game lag, and that's why everybody is doing it this way. But I guess even in their tutorials, shoot at the top of your jump, and that's how you do the best. It's not true. Do it right before. Makes the game a lot easier. I tried to play with Pain this week, though, and you can't play online. I also don't know if I touched on that last week, because I feel like the game had just come out. But you can't actually play online with your friends.
That's unfortunate.
if the three of us were here and we had another person on the couch, all four of us could play there. But
That's nice to give it a couch co-op.
Yeah,
You don't see
and
many
it's great
of
for
those.
that. And the game isn't like it was $20. It wasn't a $60 game that I can't play online with my friends, so it's not horrible. But
still.
even just 1v1, like I want to be able to be like, hey, let's play a game quick. But no, you can't.
Quick, come over here and let's play a game.
Yeah,
Well,
so
that makes me wonder then, because it did come out for the Switch as well. So
it did come out for the Switch, you said?
yeah, it's on the Switch. So I'm wondering if it's the same way. Like,
I would assume so.
yeah.
But yeah, so that game's fun. I talked about it last week though. I hopped back into Rocket League it was only a few matches, and I just wanted to touch on it quick because all of my ranked statuses got wiped. So like I spent all this time doing my placement matches and then playing matches, like getting up into gold for a minute and all that, and now it's all gone because I haven't played in like a month. So that was kind of depressing.
That's a fast decay.
I think it's probably literally been about a month and it's gone.
And that's really unusual because I know a lot of like the games I play, you start decaying after like a month or two, but you decay like smaller levels. So you would have gone from like
Gold down to silver,
or even silver
tiered down a
4
little bit.
down to silver 3 or something like that. You wouldn't have just lost all, and you have to
Mm.
play 10 more placement matches, correct?
Yeah, the game was literally like, you haven't been here in forever, so there goes your progress. Play again.
Haha, you.
Whoa, hard F-bomb there. We'll get rid of it for you folks.
Aw, that was
What else? Oh, FIFA 17 The Journey, you touched on this earlier. The journey mode for FIFA is quite fun. You start as a small black man
you start as a
as a child
as a young black soccer player in England.
named Alex Hunter.
I guess it doesn't really matter what race you are, but
I was just telling how it is.
yeah, it's true.
And you start off young on your high school team, and scouts see you, and then you just progressively working your way up, trying to get onto a Premier League team. You do drills in between your games. There's like cutscenes where you actually have dialogue choices as to how you want to respond. Like, do you want to be fiery and aggressive, or do you want to be like cool and like collected, or do you just want to be balanced, like right in the middle? So I started being fiery, but then saw that pisses off my manager, and the manager is the one who decides who gets to be in the starting 11. So I quickly switched to cool, and so I've been playing a little bit of that. I'll definitely get back into it this week because I want to get through that campaign, and it also made me excited for the Madden story mode. I think that'll be fun.
I watched at least a little bit of that, and I don't think we own it, but I also think that we're gonna get the EA Vault soon.
It's called the Access.
EA Access Vault.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you would pay half if you want those games.
Yeah, if you want all those good sports games.
Well, it's not only sports games. We'll talk about it later.
I mean, only one person has to have EA's Vault to get it, because then you would get the game for free, and then, you know what I'm saying?
He's saying
that's
that
true.
you two would split the cost of the $30 for the year.
Oh,
And then we would both
Oh,
have those
yeah.
games.
$30 for a year. That's pocket change.
Now it
you
is,
have-
huh? I wish I made $30 pocket change money.
Yeah.
Well, if you take it in $30 divided by 365 days a year, it's pocket change.
I don't carry change.
Okay, it's wallet change.
I don't carry change
Okay,
in
it's
my wallet.
it's change for the better.
Okay. All right. Thank you for tuning in to the first half of the show. Stay tuned after the break for our Game of the Week discussion on Prey. We hope to see you pretty soon here. All right, thank you if you decided to stick around and come back to listen to our discussion on Arcane Studios' hit new sci-fi first-person thriller, Prey.
That was well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Risky.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it. Waterloo. No, we'll go Shopa first this time. Shopa, how much time did you get to put into Prey, and how did you like it?
Well, game time, I feel like I got about 3 hours of what would be the campaign done. Playtime, I probably played for like 5 hours. For some reason...
So you were doing something wrong.
Well, yes and no.
Pulling a Waterloo in Shadows of Mordor, putting 20 extra hours into the game you didn't need to.
Yeah, this was like the opposite of when we played Quantum Break, where I just ran through it and didn't open anything. For some reason in this game, I found myself literally opening every single thing I could find. I don't know if I was reading most of the stuff and I was kind of enjoying what I was reading. It's really more up my alley.
Which is funny because this is probably the least amount I've read in a while. I would read like the personal emails when you got into somebody's computer, but like papers and stuff like that, I feel like I didn't read a lot of them. Or if I just started reading them and I wasn't interested, I just would stop, which usually I would feel like I had to get through the whole thing. I think it's just like the bigger, more open games where there's so many notes and so many things to read. That's when I care a little bit less. But like with Quantum Break, since it was a linear story, I felt like a lot of that stuff was important.
Yeah. Plus, it took me a little while to do some of the puzzles. I haven't played a lot of puzzle games, so knowing at what times to look for puzzles or like when to look for a different way.
So when you're talking about puzzles, what do you? Oh, okay. Like I need to get into this room. How do I do it?
Yeah. Or I need to get over to that balcony. What do I jump on? What do I?
The answer is
build?
Usually the glue gun will get you there.
Yeah.
See, I was really, really bad with my ammunition.
Some of us didn't have ammunition problems, and let's
get
this out of the way now.
Okay. Risky's a hacker.
He's a cheeser.
Cheeser. I like cheeser. So in the game, there's a recycler. Anything you pick up that you don't use, you can put it into this recycling machine, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
The idea of the recycler is great. Anything you get that you don't want, you put it in this recycler, and it kicks out raw materials to you. The raw materials you use in your creating machine. It's like a 3D printer.
Yeah.
The manufacturer. That's stupid.
I can't remember what it's called.
Whatever.
But basically, you take the raw materials, the amount you need, and you say, okay, I want to make glue gun ammo. And you pop in your raw materials, you hit print or start, and it pops it out for you.
Yep. So with the recycler, though, there's an issue with it right now where if you put raw materials into it and then you split up your stacks of raw materials, it like duplicates the amount of stuff you have. So what I could do is I could put 50 pieces of the raw material into this thing, cut it up into like 10 different stacks, and then start the machine, and it would kick me back like 200 pieces of whatever it was. So realistically, it was infinite if you wanted to spend the time to actually do it. And with the fabricator, that's the name of the thing that you actually use the raw materials in. The fabricator, you can make the neuromods, which you put into yourself to give yourself powers to like level up. You can make ammo, health packs. I took advantage of that heavily. Like I stayed up till 2 a.m. the night I figured out about it. Just making neuromods so I could fill out my whole stat chart.
I've never felt worse in a game than when I came home from work the next day and he showed me his skill tree and he had everything maxed out and he probably played for around the same amount of time I did.
And you were like, why am I so bad at this?
After Shadows of Mordor, I was like, maybe I just really suck at video games.
Maybe I should retire from single-player games because I'm bad. No.
I made a wrench once.
Why did you make a wrench? You start with a wrench.
I didn't know if it like had like dexterity.
Why wouldn't you wait to see if that happened?
I was around a fabricator.
And you weren't like, I could craft something more useful than a wrench. Probably didn't have any blueprints.
Blueprints, which is, how did you get all your blueprints, Risky?
Found them.
Because you can't make fabricator stuff without blueprints.
You would find
I
the
played-
blueprints
You have to
around.
find them.
I
Yeah.
played like 4 hours worth of it and only found 2. I found one for the wrench. I found one for a pistol. That's all I found.
You
I
could,
never found the pistol one.
You could be bad at this game like Waterloo, I guess.
I probably am. No, I definitely am bad at this game. I ran around for like a solid hour not knowing where to
No,
go.
I mean, I put 19 hours into the game and I beat it, which I feel like that's probably on the lower end of time that it would take someone normally. Like, obviously, because I was like God mode.
You were
after,
well-equipped,
I was
yeah.
well equipped. I wasn't running out of ammo. If
Yeah.
I was getting in a fight that I couldn't handle, I was fast enough to run away, or I had enough med kits that it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
What was I getting at?
That you beat it in 19
It was
hours.
quick.
I knew I said that.
So I don't know where you were going with that.
Okay, so the puzzles, you had a tough time. Oh, it was the stupid blueprints. The blueprints I found just because I was so powerful, my skills were so high that like I could hack my way into level 4 rooms that couldn't be opened until you normally got to level 4. I think that had a lot to do with it. And I mean, I obviously played a lot more than you too, though. It's like the shotgun shells and like that important stuff I probably found a little earlier. The only thing I did look up online was where to find the shotgun, because I knew there was a shotgun. I just didn't know where it was, and like you can find it literally as soon as you start the game.
Yeah.
It's in a room off of the lobby, so like you can go the right way if you know where it is. But I didn't know where it was, so I looked it up just because I was like, I need a shotgun if I'm gonna kill these things.
One issue I had is I pre-ordered the game. So when you pre-order the game, you got a few things, and one of the things you got was a shotgun. And not only was it a pre-order, you pretty much as soon as you got to the office, you got the shotgun. But it was a cool, unique looking shotgun. It was gold. It had cooler, decals on it than the regular shotgun had. But one day I was playing, and then I was like, well, I'm hungry. Let's go eat some food. So I went and got food, and then I turned on my game system again, and when it came to, my shotgun had disappeared completely.
It's one of those Typhons. They stole your shotgun, I bet.
It was really obnoxious, or maybe I was using one of the Mimic Typhons.
I would say maybe the whole time you were just shooting a mimic,
Yeah.
and then finally it was like, I'm done with this life.
I'm done being a shotgun.
It turned back into a mimic. It just ran.
But yeah, that really upset me. I actually started the whole game over, just to see if that gun would be back in my locker in my office, which it wasn't. So that was my one qualm with it, which kind of bummed me out. But
Only one? I mean, that's not bad if that's all the only issue you had with it.
I mean, yeah, for being bad at it, I still played it. Like in my free time, I stopped playing. I stopped playing computer games and played this game, which is big for me.
it's definitely, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
I thought it was excellent. It was a lot better than. I guess I thought it was going to be good. I had been pretty hyped on it ever since we went to PAX.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, definitely. The only one problem for me, other than my missing shotgun, is the fact that you just had so many missions, and I would get overwhelmed, kind of like you with Witcher.
Oh, I know all about it. Yep.
And I would just get overwhelmed, and I'd be like, okay, I need something that I can just stop and accomplish right now, and like feel accomplished, like I actually did something. Because a lot of the times I'd be on one side quest or one mission, and then I would finish it, but then I'd be like, oh, what's down this door? And then I'd start wandering
And I mean-
completely in the opposite direction if I needed to
Yeah,
go.
and I feel like exploration is a big part of this game too.
Oh,
like you're rewarded for going off the beaten path, going into offices, so where you can find more neuromods, you can find more weapon kits, more new weapons, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, which I never got the Q gun, which you did.
The Q
Q
beam.
beam, is
I
it?
got
Yeah, I didn't
I got
even.
a battery for it or something.
You got
Yeah,
ammo.
you
I picked up
got
ammo all
ammo.
the time for it, but
So
I
bef-
never acquired it and used
And
it.
that's the weird thing about like that gun was just behind a random door that I like hacked into. It wasn't like a big part of the story or anything.
Yeah.
Speaking of the story, do either of you want to lay out kind of the groundwork for what the game is now that we're already dove headfirst into it?
I'm gonna let you take this just because you played more of the story and
Well, he just means
Beat
he just means more of the beginning of it. Like, how do you get to where you are?
well, okay. All right. Well, I guess you're what you know. To start off with is you're in some you're in California,
San Francisco.
San Fran to be precise, and you're in some facility that they're doing testings on, and you don't know what the testings are exactly until one day things all go to hell, and then you wake back up in your room again, and then you get a call from someone named January, and
which happens to be yourself, pre-recorded.
Yeah, so what happens is these neuromods, when you take them, they're the modifications that make you more powerful, stronger, all those things. When you take them, you put them in, they help. But yeah, when you take them out, your memory gets erased back to the point of right before when the neuromod got put in. So if you're testing out the neuromods to see how they work, you're constantly going to be having your mind erased every time a neuromod gets pulled.
Yeah.
So this is what was happening to her. You finally...
Her? Did you pick?
Oh, okay.
Female
yeah.
Morgan Yu?
So here's another part. Morgan Yu, you could pick a male
Male or
or
female.
some. You guys both went male, I'm assuming.
I went male, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I chose female Morgan. I thought she was better looking. Not like, obviously she's a woman, so she's better looking than the guy to me. But as far as like character models go, for whatever reason, I thought maybe it's just his scruff or something. I don't know what it was.
I really
Don't judge me.
I don't think it really mattered just because it's a first person.
Yeah.
It's not
and
like
she doesn't talk. Okay, so is January a man in yours?
January has a man's voice in ours.
Oh,
And
okay.
I
That
think
makes
I
sense, I
mentioned
guess.
January
that
a
to you
female in yours?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
That's
it was a
funky.
female robot talking to me the whole time.
because
And it
it's
was-
your voice.
That's funny.
And then it was a female in the looking glass.
Yeah.
It was you.
Yeah.
That's the only time you actually see yourself is when you see.
Well,
it
that's
in the
weird. Every
mirror.
time you look in a mirror, you don't see yourself at all.
Yeah. Well, I never noticed that.
I tried doing it on multiple occasions. Like, what do I actually look like?
Maybe you're a vampire.
That would have been a strange twist. There was a strange twist at the end that I can't talk about. But,
I mean, you can.
no.
No, 'cause
I don't know what
I
water
will
to finish
beat it.
this. It's definitely worth beating.
I mean, I plan on beating it too. Do I get to am I just thrown out into the...
Well,
Yep.
you
Yeah.
literally just said I could spoil the ending for you, so I assumed you weren't gonna play it because I would
No.
never want the ending spoiled for
If
me.
I'm gonna beat something, I don't want that ending
Exactly.
spoiled.
Especially so this is a good one. I'll just.
But you did-
were
You
what?
did save prior to
I
beating
saved
it, so you
so
saw
like when
both
you
endings.
when you get to the end of the game, it makes it clear that there's two paths you can follow. So I saved at that fork in the road, played through the game one way, played through the game the other way, so I could see them both. Both endings are fine, but it's like the twist that comes at the end of each story that that's the big. It's awesome. I love it.
No, I know you sat through the credits, and
okay,
there
so
was
you-
play afterwards. There was a play afterwards on both story endings.
It's I don't even really want to talk about it, but just stay tuned. Let all the credits roll.
Okay.
And that's all I'll say for that. Yeah, so you finally realize that you are a test subject, and you try to go out onto your balcony, which to you it just looks like a normal balcony in San Francisco, like you can see the Golden Gate Bridge or whatever. But you hit this, and it was just a screen. Like there's just like a hallway and like paneling and stuff on the other side of this glass. They've
were in a
been
containment
watching
yeah.
you to see what you do every day and like the choices you make, that kind of stuff.
I drank the liquor both days.
I
Yeah.
drank all the liquor I found.
That's a good way to get you drunk and cure your fear.
Yep.
So I don't. What did fear
I think
do anything?
fear was when. Did you ever notice the screen get really dark and dim?
I guess. Yeah.
I think that was when you were scared.
I also thought that was when I crouched, but I could be wrong.
It's when you focus, when you press down the right thumbstick.
Okay. I mean, either way.
I thought that's what fear was. When like if you were like getting attacked, your screen kind of go dark and you could hear your guy go breathing heavy, breathing heavily.
Or
yeah.
your girl.
Is that what it sounds like?
That's what she's out of. Yeah.
I thought that was what fear was. But
That could be.
I didn't even really notice it, I don't think.
Yeah, because I always, like, I would have, like, the snacks that I have to eat, and most of them are, like, 10 health.
5
Then
health,
some of them
10
were
health.
like 2 health and cures fear, and I was like, I'm not gonna eat that because it's only 2.
I
could
mean,
eat
I'd
that
eat
other
it
thing.
anyways.
You
Anything
drink
I
a lot
could
of
eat,
water
I'd eat.
fountains.
To each their own.
Yep, some water fountains would give you
1
2.
HP.
The
Give you 1.
the drinking fountains were funny. Did you ever find 2 that were next to each other?
Yep.
So you just like
Do, do,
alternate,
do, do. Yep.
alternate. Once I found my little cheat, I'd never had to go to another drinking fountain. But yeah, there was one time where I was at like 72 health or something, and I just alternated drinking 1 health at a time between these 2 up until 100. So that was probably 10, 15 minutes of sitting in front of
Reminds you of
the
Prince of
things we
Persia.
do for games.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So that would have been. So if you didn't grind out all that stuff, I mean, you're looking at like 17 hours worth of playtime, actual playtime.
No, he had 19 hours of actual playtime.
You're saying if I didn't... Oh, okay, well...
Well, not but like 2 of that was him just sitting at the recycling.
2 of it was me exploiting and cheesing, but if
Well,
I
also-
didn't do that, the game would have taken me way longer because it would have
'Cause
been a
you
lot
would-
harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The creatures, the typhons would have
Like,
been more difficult
If you
to
bump
destroy.
up the skill tree enough, like you can sprint and they can't hear you. Like if your stealth is up enough and your stamina and like speed is up enough, you can sprint by things as long as they're not looking at you. Like you can blow by them, or like the damage buff I got when I was
250,
250%.
one shot kill if they didn't know you were there.
Right. So the Phantom Typhons, if I got behind them and they didn't see me, 1 shotgun blast to their back would kill them,
Bye bye.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
Mimics annoyed the hell out of me if you were in like a dark room or if there was more than one of them because I couldn't see them.
Well,
that ever
'cause they
happened? Like,
would mimic with other things. That's why you
well,
couldn't see them.
no, this is when they were
Whoa.
in their black like mimic state, their Typhon state, not like a coffee cup state. Obviously, I couldn't see it then, but yeah, these things they'd jump behind me and they'd just like disappear, and I'd just be shooting my shotgun at the floor, hoping that I could hit them when they were close enough to me. They were annoying, but
I typically just tried to wait for the health bars to come up before I swung or did anything, so I knew.
it's a good idea.
But they're pretty, like the little ones are pretty agile as well. Like
And-
with just a wrench, because I run out of my ammo really fast. It's
Yeah,
annoying.
they do like a decent amount of damage too. I feel like they take like 20 health off, which when you're only dealing with like 100,
It's a big chunk.
it's not a lot when there's 4 of them and you're getting hit from every which way.
I personally didn't have a problem with.
Oh, apparently
The
I
mimics.
had a shotgun with infinite ammo and I didn't like the mimics.
Well, I also think that kind of didn't help with your problem because you were like, oh yeah, boom, boom, like shooting people, and like you weren't really trying to focus
All right, now
As
that I'm
much.
deaf.
with your shooting as most people usually do when they don't have infinite ammo.
Yeah, I definitely found myself changing how I played that game as I went. For
Oh.
the first like 2 hours, I blew through the glue gun in my first battle.
Were you not finding more glue gun ammo laying
No,
around?
I didn't. I was not finding any. I went through that whole first, like, where it's the big lobby, the main lobby. I went through that whole thing and never found a glue gun ammo or anything.
Did you make it up to the second floor?
I made it through all 3 floors and past that, and I made it. I don't know. It's really hard for me to remember exactly where I was. I was getting into. I had just finished fixing the looking glass stuff because I did a bunch of side
Okay,
missions.
so yeah, you're still pretty early.
I mean, I
One
only-
thing I was gonna say for you, Waterloo, is that if you're getting bogged down by side quests, I'd only focus on side quests that are given to you by like an NPC that seems like they want to have a conversation with you, if that makes sense.
yeah.
A lot of those are kind of integral to the story and like the ending. So if you have a human telling you to do something, I would try to help them out. Did you run into Ingram, the guy that was locked in a cell?
Outside?
Yes.
He
No, he was in the.
It was
it was
this like
triage.
this would have been the first person you met. He had like a key code or something, or like a safe code, and he was only gonna give it to you if you let him out of like his confinement area. It was like a big glass case.
Yes.
Did you let that guy out?
I did.
So did you read what he was in there for?
Wait.
I did not.
He was in the back of the trauma center, right?
I don't know where.
No, you're talking about the guy that was possessed, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
person?
different person.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You beat this guy with a wrench after you let him
Yeah,
out.
so like he was like, "Let me out, I'll give you this password." So I let him out and he gave me the password, but like he was in there for like human trafficking and like some other stuff with like weird minors. So morally, I was like, "Nah, you don't get to live. Like there's only 5 of us left alive here. You're not going to be one of them." So I beat that man to death with a wrench.
Well,
After he gave me the key code, obviously.
my reasoning for not killing him was because I was under the assumption in the beginning of it you're told you're there to blow up the ship. So I'm like, "Oh, you're going to die no matter what."
So I'll let you try to traffic the 3 people on here. Good luck, buddy.
I don't think he's going to try to traffic anybody.
I
after
hope not.
Being,
Hopefully, after being locked up.
yeah, with the mimics possibly.
Yeah. So your
all those
little
creatures.
robot friend January is telling you that you've been programmed. You programmed her,
Him.
him, or
It.
her. It.
It's a robot.
It is
so
a
it can be an
robot,
it.
but it has a male or female voice.
Just because Siri has a female
No,
voice doesn't mean you can't.
Siri's
reprogram.
definitely a woman.
Okay. Just because the navigator has a male voice.
He's
doesn't
definitely a
mean-
man.
And mine's Australian as well.
But
You're not helping my argument here.
no,
at
I
all, guys.
try not to.
That's the whole point.
So you created this robot, but you don't remember it because you pulled a neuromod, you lost your memory, whatever, and the robot's telling you in your voice, like, "Hey, the Typhon, we need to destroy it while it's here, so that it doesn't get back to Earth."
Mm-hmm.
But then your brother wants you to just kill the Typhon so you don't lose all of your... Are you even that far in the story? You look dumbfounded, and I don't want to get into like weird spoilery stuff.
I mean, don't go any further. Then.
He's
Okay.
got a face that looks like mine.
Yeah, kind of. So,
A resting dumb face.
I mean, you guys can touch on Prey more.
If you play it, whenever you
Did
play
you
it
have
more.
that much else to say on it?
I mean,
Is there anything you want to touch on that isn't like
story
I don't know what to talk
related?
about the story until you're done with it. Once you're done with it, I definitely want to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
And Shopa, I'm not waiting like 3 months for you to finish it. So Waterloo, if you finish it in like a week or two,
I'll be finishing it.
And if I haven't
can make
beat
you
it
go
at that
downstairs
time,
and
well, no, if
hide.
I haven't beat it at that time, now
Then it's your bad.
Spoiler
All right.
anyways.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like actual gameplay and stuff go, I did definitely see. Like I said, I saw myself change a lot from sneaking more. I was barely sneaking around. I felt like when I first started, like I didn't feel
because
a
you
need
had
to.
like weapons, but once you started running out of ammo, then it kind of got scary.
And I definitely saved a lot more as I was going. So I would save before I used neuromods
Okay,
often.
yeah.
So then when I would use a neuromod, and then if I got to a part where like I could have used neuromods in a different part, then I could revert back to that last save
Be like,
point
okay,
and
I
use
need
them and
hacking
know,
actually. Right.
or like leverage to move something, or something like that. So I think using them like that was better for me to just save beforehand, or like before you go into a big fight. One time I saved literally in the middle of a Typhon fight.
That's
I was
that's
fighting
a
two
dangerous
phantoms,
move.
Yeah.
and like I was saved it. I was sneaking around and I saved it right beforehand, and then like literally 5 seconds later, as you like walk out of where you're going, there's like 2 of them, and they just want to fight you.
Yeah. Have you ever
So-
had that issue where you save your game in like a infinite death like loop? So like you turn on your game, but you saved like right before you get shot in the face, and like there's nothing you can do. It's a ruined save.
That I forgot what game it was, but I've done that before. And
I would
then
say,
I
I feel like
stopped playing. I literally stopped playing the game
Yeah.
just because.
Because like that was your main save, and like you don't have any other saves, so that's definitely grounds to start over a game. I think for sure.
Yeah.
I think I just sprinted. I like spawned into it and then just sprinted through what I had to do
Well, that's
after
the thing,
trying
like,
to fight them multiple times.
Turn
with
around
only
and
a
just
wrench.
go back the way you came. Like, no thanks.
But like hacking definitely got me into some trouble. Because like I had never seen a phantom before, and then I hacked one of the doors because I had hacking 1, and like walked into 2 of them. I was like, "Oh, you're cute." So I slapped them with a wrench, and they just killed me.
Yeah, there's
I was like, "Oh."
So there's a bunch of different variants of the phantoms too. There's like flame ones and electric ones and ones that throw yellow energy balls at you that really mess you up.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely scary. Did you run into a nightmare at all?
Those are the ones that would take over.
No, those are the Weavers. The
No,
Nightmare.
Weavers weren't the ones that would take over people.
Are the Weavers the ones that were making the
the
yellowy gold?
Yeah, they would make the yellowy gold and
Floaty
also
stuff.
like little things that would go after you and then explode. You usually would fight those in zero gravity.
Okay, yeah. The Nightmare looks like a phantom, but it's like 2 stories tall.
No, I never ran into it.
Okay, because I know I'd talked to you about it, but I didn't know if you'd run into one since that. So what happens when the nightmares would come out is that you'd get like a timer up in the top left corner. It'd be like, you have 3 minutes, either hide from it or kill it. And I just hid from it every time because the thing was huge, and even with all my cheat codes in, I still wouldn't mess with those. Once you run into those for your first time, that's a fun moment. They're big and scary.
Did anybody listen? So, did you guys ever pay attention to what? So, some of the phantoms, they all had like names.
Yeah,
like they were actual people.
Yeah.
Taking over.
I saw that sometimes.
Did you listen to any of their like? So, one of the big things I noticed when I was going through the choices is when you have subtitles for dialogue, you can choose main or you can choose all. Did anybody else notice that?
Oh no! So you could turn on.
So you could turn on. So as I'm walking, like sneaking past phantoms, I can. My subtitles tell me what they're saying.
Oh, that's weird. And they actually say things.
They actually say things.
Oh,
so they say like, I can't, or something like trying to take over. Somebody's trying to take over our planet, so we're taking over this one. Or I wonder what they think like as we do stuff.
That's so weird. I wish I had that turned on now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they say some weird, creepy stuff.
Oh, I wish I turned that on. That's super interesting. Because I did notice sometimes some of them would have like just normal human names above them.
Yeah.
Because I think the humans get turned into them.
Well, that was part. I found that out because when I was messing around in the ones. I think it was the security booth, and I was looking for like one of the things where like find missing people, and I had this one missing person that I was looking for, and I was wandering around, and I was on this one area, and I felt like I was doing circles, and I looked down, and there was like a dead phantom body there.
And that was the person.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, then, I put two together and figured that out.
You weren't going into the actual system and trying to find those people, though, were you?
I did it for like 3 of them.
Okay. I was going to say, if you're doing that, then you're definitely going to add hours onto your... Like, I didn't go searching for a specific person at all, unless it was part of, like, a main quest or, like, a main...
Even, like,
or a side quest that, like, seemed important, I guess.
You're supposed to find, like, Bellamy's corpse. I don't even think I found that. Because that's how you got a key card for the first part. But I just wasn't...
Yeah, I don't remember that. If I did pick up his corpse, I don't remember it. Just a couple things that I wanted to note before we wrap this up. I don't think there's too much more to say. When you guys first spawned into the game and you were like in Alex's or Morgan's room, and you realized you could throw stuff, did you guys like whip stuff around like when you first? Did either of you do that?
No.
Like,
I tried to...
I think I threw a few things at the window to see if it would break. But other than that, no.
Well, like there's like coffee mugs and stuff like that.
First spawn in, like
whip
while you
'em.
still think you're in an apartment, or
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
you wake up.
yeah. Like when I first waked up and it was like pick up, and then I would just pick something up, and then there was a button for throw, and I was like, oh,
Let's throw
okay.
this.
And I would just see how far I could throw things. But you could like whip a coffee mug from one end of the room to the other.
It would shatter.
No.
wouldn't
Oh,
it?
that was so fun.
I didn't try that.
I was hoping everyone did that. And then I also noticed that when I first started finding all these dead people, they all had like baseball gloves and banana peels on them.
100% picked everything up.
I know.
Well, yeah, because you're supposed to.
Is that weird though?
recycle it.
Well, because it was one of the elements that could be broken down in the recycler.
Did anyone else try when you're in your first room? And actually, I only did this because I restarted it. But I took all my stuff, like you know how you could pick up like the wires and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the food. I actually picked everything up and I'll place them all back in one cabinet to see, because next day you wake up, and I wanted to see if I would get double the amount of stuff.
That didn't work, right?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
Everything was back
That would
out.
have been cool. That's a good thought.
Yeah,
Good on you for thinking of it.
I was like, well, let's see if this works, but it didn't.
So they must have to reset your room every day then, huh?
Yeah.
Because, so, when I first spawned in...
you know that your mind resets though. So I
No,
don't,
not at the beginning.
how would you not know that? She's part of the ones that like Morgan and Alex are the ones who made the test. Like, they're aware that their minds have to reset. I don't remember how they presented it initially, but you definitely know that.
But I think your mind has been reset so many times that you don't.
It doesn't. Okay, so your mind doesn't reset. You forget what happened while the neuromod was in your brain.
Yeah.
So that's why you keep going to the same morning. It's because that morning you put in a neuromod, and then that night they take it back out, and you're back to that same day again because that's all you remember.
Yeah, I'm just saying leading up to the neuromod being put in, which is where you're going to be at, you know that your mind's going to be reset. It's not like you're second guessing it.
They may not have known that. That may have been a side effect that they first figured out on Morgan. They may have taken that neuromod out the first night, and then when he
because
woke back up...
in that audio recording, she's talking to her brother about it. Maybe you haven't gotten that yet. I think that she definitely is aware.
I think,
or maybe she's just aware of it later on.
Where I'm at now, I'm pretty sure she's aware. They've told her.
If you were aware, why did they go through all that trouble to keep the illusion of you being in San Francisco?
Yeah. Why would they not tell you you're on a ship if you weren't supposed to be just continually testing these every day?
I don't know. Now I'm confused with that because she's like...
And reading those papers, there's also points where they're saying that you seem duller because you're continually doing something
because you're getting the mods pulled.
I think because you're using so many mods that it's really messing you up.
And that's why they're also confused when you're testing, is because you were supposed to have a neuro mod and it didn't seem like you did.
Yeah, how'd you like that test with the pushing the fat man in front of the train? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was weird. It's like, would you save these 5 people by pushing a fat man in front of a train that would slow down the train enough that it wouldn't kill the 5 people? It's weird because it sets up how you're actually going to end up like playing the game, like how you play the game. Like if you're going to save these people, you save like this person to stop. It's all late game stuff.
I actually messed it up at the end because I didn't see. So the last question was, do you let the 5 people die? Do you push the fat man in front of the train and stop it? Or do you jump in front of the train and stop it?
You push the fat man and stop it.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that option and really quickly answered myself.
It's the best option.
Isn't there an option to do nothing though too?
I think so, yeah.
I think I forgot which one it was. I did do nothing for all of them, but one of them I did. I pushed the fat man. I think every time.
So one thing I feel like I did notice. I wish I could like record the whole thing and go look back, but when I first woke up, I did not have any liquor in my room.
No, you always had liquor.
See, the liquor was moved. The second time you were in it, the liquor was moved. So I don't think they're not resetting it completely.
There wasn't any liquor in my room.
There had to have been.
Yeah.
Well,
it wasn't for everyone else.
Well, it wasn't where it was when I woke up.
It was like on a counter, and then the next time it was over on like the bookshelf to the right.
Okay, so no, mine, I didn't see it the first time. The second time, it was right in smack dab in the middle of the room on that like shelf that came out.
It's a mimic.
I slapped at it real quick just to make sure.
So what about in that one test? Did you guys try hiding behind the chair?
I hid behind the
100%.
chair.
You
Yeah.
ducked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually, the second time I restarted it, I brought in some of the bricks. So before the door closed, I threw those 3 bricks in there, stacked them on top of each other, and tried hiding behind that and the chairs. So like I really tried hiding.
That's good.
Knowing back knowledge now, they're just trying to see if you mimic the chair.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to have that mod in.
But yeah, they said if you hide, they're like, look, is he hiding behind the chair?
Like, is he hiding behind that chair?
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
You
She
know.
is. It is.
I also, I think the other time I picked it up and tried like ducking with the chair in front of me.
Right.
But they don't say if you do that, they don't say, look, he's hiding.
It's like, oh, look, he's carrying a chair around.
Yeah.
He's probably a failure. Probably shouldn't do this.
I think they were definitely confused. I mean, it took me a little while to figure out that like the elevators were the key to turn everything around.
To turning everything around?
And you're like an apartment building.
Oh, like actually get out of there?
Yeah.
Oh,
It took me a little bit to do that one too. I won't lie.
it's all right. Did you guys get the achievement for jumping into the helicopter
Fuck
blades?
yeah, I did.
I did not.
No.
No.
Didn't I tell you about
that? Didn't we?
No.
At the beginning, you're supposed to jump into the helicopter blades and you get an achievement. 10 gamer score.
Did you guys get the achievement where you recycled yourself?
Yeah, I did after you told me.
Yeah.
So there's these grenades. They're called recycler grenades, and you throw them into a room, and it breaks down everything into the room into like the raw materials. So you just throw it into like a room full of desks and lamps and papers and stuff, and it just shrivels it all down into these little cubes of like elements that you pick up. But you can throw it and run into it, and it recycles you, and you actually get an achievement for it.
It's a
I did that after you told me.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Well, I did it on accident, but I was like, oh my God. And then I got
No,
the
usually when I
achievement.
throw grenades, I make sure I'm not in their path. I finished the game with 12 achievements for 165 gamer score.
Not
I
bad.
feel like that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gamer score. I also didn't touch any Typhon neuromods. I went straight human. You're probably not even there yet. You get the
Nope.
ability to inject the Typhon into you with neuromods.
You guys talked about this because it was at PAX.
Well, right,
But
because
you
like
had
you
to
can
make
turn
sure-
into coffee cups and stuff, but that's only if
The-
you go with the Typhon route.
I used a lot of turrets though too, which would have
You can turn yourself into a turret.
negative. Yeah, but then they shoot you.
But yeah, if you put enough Typhon mods into yourself, the turrets that are meant for taking them down will take you down. But
Those turrets were definitely useful at the beginning. There was one time where I was like running through the lobby, and like 7 mimics spawned, and I was like, "Oh my god, what am I gonna do?"
lay down a turret.
And then
Or
I
two.
just ran away, and I was like, "Oh, turret!" And it was just like 2 bullets, each one dead. I was
Yeah.
like, "That's really useful."
The firing Typhon,
The
Phantom, firing Phantom. I actually went around. I collected all 3 of the turrets, brought him up into the room he was in,
Oh, that's
and
funny.
like
Just
set a
laid
foot
those
trap
out.
for him. Yeah.
So that's what I tried to do the first time where I hacked into that one room with my security 1 and couldn't beat the Phantoms. That's what I tried to do, but 1 blast killed both of them, and I didn't have repair, and I couldn't fix them.
Yeah, their
So then I
blasts
just had to
are
sneak
pretty
through the
powerful.
room. But
I like it.
like it also took me a really long time. So one of the parts is you have to run across a banner
Yeah.
to get to the next set of rooms. It took me forever to figure that out.
Sounds like you need to sharpen your mind when it comes to the puzzles.
I think realizing the timing that there's gonna be something weird for me to do. So,
yeah, like if you can't figure it out, there's probably 4 different ways you can do it. They're just none of them are the open the door and walk through it or take the normal bridge across. It's going to be shoot the glue gun against the wall, climb up it, or crawl through the little maintenance tunnels, that kind of stuff.
still have to figure out. Did you ever use the crossbow with the rubber darts?
No.
No, I read about it, and
garbage.
well, I read the description, and it was actually only there to tease other employees by shooting it at their screen and picking things.
It could also open doors by hitting the button.
I can see that. Like
Yeah.
maybe if you're at like a kiosk that has a little like cutout, like kind of if you're buying tickets at a baseball stadium, if
Yeah.
you could shoot through that little gap where they'd slide you the tickets to hit like a button on the other side to
Like,
open the
unlock
door or
security
something.
door or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. I never ran into anything like that.
Well, I wonder why, Cheesy. Maybe
Probably
we should
because I
change your
could
name
just
to
hack
Cheesy.
everything. Cheesy the kid?
Cheesy the Kid.
Cheesy. It's
Or-
cheesy.
Or Risky Cheese.
Risky. Oh, gross. Blue cheese is risky cheese. I love it. All right. So, all in all, we all put in a different amount of hours. We all like the game.
Yeah.
I finished it. I thought it was great. I'll say great.
Do you think you would have finished it as quick if you didn't red box it?
Okay. So yeah, that's the other thing. I rented it on 2 separate occasions. No, probably not.
Okay.
Because I knew that it was due back at a certain time, so I had to put it in as like I picked the days that I knew MC was going to be busy, and then I played as much as I possibly could, stayed up like later than I normally would to play it.
Okay.
So no, like I wish I had the game right now so I could go back and play it, but I don't think I'll go back to Redbox just because I already beat it. Like I'd like to actually use some of the like Typhon neuromods.
Yeah. See what they do.
Maybe make some other choices throughout the story.
Maybe
but I also
not
don't
beat
know
the
if I
guy
wanna-
to death with a wrench.
No, that guy had it coming no matter what I think, so probably still do that. But yeah, I liked it.
Agreed.
But all right, so we just want to go around the table now. Waterloo, if anyone wants to find you, where can they find you besides in this room?
You can find me at Waterloo on Xbox and on Beam. And if you want to tweet me, don't, because I don't have that on my phone anymore for right now. So we'll leave that out.
Shopa.
You can find me at OMG at Shopa on Beam, Twitter, Xbox, and YouTube.
And I'm Risky the Kid on Xbox and Beam. If you want to contact the show, you want to reach out to all of us, you can find us at facebook.com/Xbox Community Cast. Also, feel free to send us an email at xboxcommunitycast@gmail.com. The Facebook page, we post a good amount. We're always looking for feedback too. Looking for community questions. That's a big thing for us. We'd love to have a segment dedicated to whoever's out there listening. If you have any questions, send them our way, and we'll definitely answer them on the show for you. But all right, with that, thank you everybody for tuning in to episode 8 of the Xbox Community Cast. And until next time, we'll catch you later.
See ya.
Goodbye.
We'll be right back.